What if I explained to you that most males approach relationships in the modern era is entirely incorrect? But what if I told you that, by abiding by a few basic guidelines, you might not just spare you years of heartache, but also discover genuine strength and regard in your connections? In this video, I'm going to list the 9 Stoic philosophy rules, something intelligent persons need to abide by when it comes to women. These are not, they are fluffy feel-good advice, harsh realities that the majority of guys will never hear, and if you get proficient with them, you'll radically alter how women perceive. We live with you and your self-perception. Inside a society where dating and relationships are growing increasingly, social networking is more complex than ever. Unrealistic expectations and dating apps have warped the ideals of love. Be about. But as a male, here's the thing. You must be able to handle this. You must understand how to safeguard your time, your vitality, and your psychological well-being in a world that is indifferent to it. We learn from Stoicism that there are a few guidelines you have to abide by if you wish to keep your sanity and dignity intact in relationships. These guidelines are so strong, and they have been engaged in. They're not only for thousands of years. Men who wish to improve their relationship with women, they are intended for those who wish to become experts in own lives. If you're fed up with poisonous partnerships that are full of drama and emotion, as though you're being taken all the time benefit, then you should watch this video. Let's break it down. Guard your past at all costs. Protect your past. Why excessive disclosure can backfire: prematurely disclosing too much about your history. In the era of excessive sharing, this could seem illogical, but it's essential to safeguard your own. When you meet interests, this is the reality. A woman, particularly if you mean it, about creating something that will last, you must be picky about whatever portions of "why don't you reveal your past?" It must be said that your past is yours. And although some things may appear trivial, but they can be utilized later against you during times of disagreement or manipulation. For instance, consider that you've had a difficult split in the past, and you casually bring it up at the beginning of a rel connection. Unexpectedly, during a dispute, you've been thrown back in your face. Simply provided her with the same ammunition. Pertains to family matters and money issues or shortcomings in your own life, while you should acknowledge that there is a distinction between completeness and honesty. Stoicism and openness encourage us to maintain. Some aspects of our history were not because of embarrassment, but you don't out of wisdom owe someone your life story, especially not when dating is just getting started, when less is more when it comes to sharing your past. Share additional information as needed, but maintain your personal hardships till your past is your tale and trust is established. Not a means of passing judgment on others or mislead you while you establish confidence with someone you can gradually divulge more of, but never imagine you're on a trip all at once. First date, rather than going into detail about each emphasis on an ex-girlfriend or a difficult past. What motivates you, who you are now, and you're enthusiastic about what you're seeking: the respect of women in the future. Males who keep their mystery intact and respect for themselves by preserving their history. The second is the fear of solitude. Stop settling for less and confront your fear of being alone. Nowadays, the majority of guys are afraid of being alone, which is why so many of us are afraid of settle into unhealthy partnerships. We learn from Stoicism that genuine strength originates from feeling at ease in your own company. If you find it difficult to be by yourself, you will never be able to make the correct decision. Let's face society head-on. Partner encourages us to enter into partnerships if people presume something because you're unmarried. I'm wrong with you, but this is the harsh reality. Being single is much better, and at tranquility as opposed to being in a partnership that depletes your vitality, self-assurance, and self-respect. Consider the number of people around you. Do you know who continues to be intoxicated? Partnerships simply because they endure because they are terrified of being alone. Ongoing manipulation of arguments and even disdain, since they believe that possessing someone is better, even if they are the incorrect person. Rather than being alone, which isn't how an intelligent man operates, begin to spend more time with you, travel by yourself to eat dinner. Read novels that will help you develop. Your objectives, friendships, and career will come after no relationship is worth losing. Your tranquility due to Stoicism instructs us to safeguard our mental space fiercely if a female is continuously introducing drama, confusion, or negativity into, "You must leave your life behind. You're not required to fix her, and you're most definitely not need to make sacrifices. Your health for her is made plain. Limits on your mental well-being if somebody is causing tension or negativity. Enter your life and express your worries. If the conduct persists, leave your mental well-being is too vital to. Here's a reality check on compromise. Maintaining a poisonous relationship can devastate your emotional well-being more quickly than it's like pouring poison if you do anything else. Slowly eroding daily into your thoughts. Your confidence and sense of worth and your capacity to work don't allow. Take charge of your life if it gets that bad. Mental well-being through proactive management, stress reduction techniques, mindfulness, and putting oneself in the company of those who encourage you. Your mental tranquility is your accountability, and you should never give anyone with the authority to remove the number. Stay true to yourself. Don't alter who you are in order to get her approval. 6. Be loyal to one of the biggest traps, men, is you. Fall into partnerships that are losing. Eventually, you begin dating someone, and gradually, you begin to compromise who you are only to satisfy her. Put an end to the activities you enjoy and begin. You even begin dressed differently, keeping your thoughts to yourself because you, not wanting to upset anyone. This is a major error. This is what most men don't recognize when you are sacrificing your identity. To bring joy to another person, you're putting yourself at risk for chronic suffering. Being Stoic teaches us to be genuine, constantly if you're bending and changing to suit the desires of others. And guess what? You're betraying yourself. She will soon lose people's respect. Women are naturally drawn to you as well. Men who are rooted in who they are, who remain unfazed by outside validation. Consider how often you think about it. Have you witnessed men become an entirely different individual when they're in a partnership? They begin agreeing on things they never did before, with ideas that they don't genuinely believe in order to maintain harmony. But here's the harsh reality. Women don't value men who cannot defend themselves. Therefore, let me imagine that you are a man who enjoys watching or playing video games, athletics, but the woman you're seeing dislikes it and believes it to be a waste. So what do you do when you run out of time? Playing, you abruptly stop viewing. All of a sudden, you're acting in ways you don't delight in order to prevent her from becoming. You're upset because you lost, so start saying no. Don't have to concur with all of her asserts that you don't need to adore everything. She believes that having your own is acceptable. Views and passions in actuality, it's importantly, a true man has a distinct identity, and he never sacrifices it for anybody. She will respect you if you stay true to yourself. More for you. Number 7, don't give up your dreams. Don't give up your path for some. This one resonates deeply. Many men encounter a woman who's incredible, and before you realize it, you're making concessions to accommodate. When you enter her realm, you begin to skip exercises and lowering the dangers at work, perhaps even missing out on opportunities merely since they conflict with her intentions. This is risky area. Here are the deal. Sacred Stoicism is your route. Informs you that your life's mission is unavoidable. You have aspirations, objectives, and goals that are particularly yours. When you begin giving up those aspirations to please, you're betraying someone else, yourself, and you're discarding the "you might not have had a woman in the future." Worth it, let me to illustrate. You've always desired to launch your own business. You're dating a woman, yet you're in business. Doesn't anyone want you to take the chance? She appreciates how stable your current situation is. Work. So how do you manage to stay in you settle for mediocrity in your comfort zone, and years later, you're satisfied? Feeling remorse for not pursuing your aspirations that are not only a loss for you. The world has lost because you didn't meet your expectations for staying on your journey, regardless of whether she's encouraging of your objectives. She's not the ideal woman for you. As a true companion will encourage rather than inhibit your ambitions. Give up seeking approval and begin pursuing your own interests. If you're giving up your future in order to maintain someone you're currently making, an enormous error. Number 9. Prioritize. Make your relationships with friends and family a priority so that you don't lose your network of support.
Connections with family and friends. Many men make the error of leaving their network of support when they enter into a partnership with someone you meet. Girl, you're infatuated, and all of a sudden your family members and friends take a back seat. However, the truth is that this is a quick route to seclusion, and if circumstances south in your partnership, which they do, you frequently find yourself without anyone to turn to. Let's dissect it. Your foundation is made up of your family and friends. They have already visited the partnership, and they will remain there after. Having a solid support network keeps you. They call you out when you're grounded, making errors, and it is they who will assist you in gathering the components when things break down. If you're continuously leaving them to devote all of your time to, you're setting up with your girlfriend. I've witnessed you setting yourself up for tragedy. Too often, men get into relationships, and all of a sudden they end. They cease hanging out with the males. They cancel on their parents' phone. Family gatherings, after which the relationship ends, leaving them feeling lonely and isolated. Avoid that guy and maintain your social life. Alive, schedule time for your pals and family. Despite being in a connection, go out with your friends. Spend time with your dad and give your mom a call. A decent woman will appreciate that. She'll recognize that your existence doesn't center on her, and she will be grateful. The fact that your bonds are strong outside of your connection, along with a small secret, women are inherently more drawn to men who lead lives apart from the partnership. It displays assurance, strength, and independence. So be sure your universe is not limited to only her. Equilibrium is avoid obsessive devotion, which is essential. Number 9. Avoid obsessive devotion. Don't worry about her. Instead, maintain your authority. This is quite likely the most crucial. The idea that everything never becomes, I don't care if I'm obsessed with a single woman. I'm in awe of her, regardless of how she is lovely, intelligent, and compassionate. When you give up your power when you become fixated. When you elevate her to a position that isn't appealing, and it's most certainly not what is meant by sustained obsessive devotion, causes insecurity, jealousy, and sentimental instability. You begin to overthink everything. You begin to doubt yourself. You begin to feel as though the world rests on her approval. That is dependence rather than affection. It's an effective method of pushing her away. Women are not interested in males who focus on, they are looking for a man who has, consider his own life and his own purpose. You meet a female in this way, and in a few, she's all you think about for weeks. Begin spending time with your buddies. Spending more time with her, you begin to constantly checking your phone to see whether she's. When I text you, you become anxious every time. She doesn't answer immediately, which is obsession is not only harmful. For her, it's a huge turnoff for you. Stoicism teaches us to maintain our composure, calm and in charge of our feelings. Your universe revolves around you. Not regardless of how wonderful she is, She's only a portion of your life. If you'll lose yourself in her center. The procedure, give up elevating women. You are not her, and she is not your queen. You are equal partners in the service industry. Partnership, put your own objectives first, your own fulfillment and development. As soon as you become fixated, take a step back and concentrate on yourself. Should never require the feelings of another person. Complete when you maintain viewpoint, you'll not only feel more self-assured and in charge, but additionally, she will respect you more for it. Self-assurance, independence, and poise are captivating qualities. Don't let them go by. Let's bring it everything if you're obsessed with someone. Conclusion. Regain control by adopting Stoicism. Relationships can be difficult, but by abiding by these 9 austere guidelines, you can preserve your tranquility and respect for oneself and develop stronger, better relationships with the appropriate. At the end of the day, people remember you are the reward for your aspirations and goals, and a life to lead, and you ought to give up anything for the benefit of a connection. Remain loyal to yourself and protect your time, vitality, and mental health, and never get overly fixated on with another person you can't remember who. By adopting these Stoic principles, you not only will you change your relationships that will change your life. If you feel that this video speaks to you, it provided you with some firm affection, that you hit that subscribe button if you wanted to hear and become a part of the community. I build these videos that can assist males like you traverse the intricacies of contemporary connections via the prism of Stoicism. And if you're interested in seeing more information like this, think about becoming a member of our channel. Memberships are a tiny means of keep these and support the channel. Films revealing that the majority of males are not receiving this type of guidance elsewhere. So please assist us in spreading the message. Tell other males about this video. Please leave a remark if you need to hear it below, and let's continue the discussion. Thank you for viewing.